Hi, this is John from Proper Coils, and today we're having a look at the Pandora MTL RTA version 2 from Yachtvape. So this is the Pandora MTL RTA 2 from Yachtvape. This was sent on to me for review by Daredevil over on Instagram. I'll stick his Instagram tag here on the bottom left. Make sure you go over and give him a follow. So this comes separately, or you buy separately, the Pandora 3mm Bellcap. So I'm going to go through that when we open everything up. So on the packaging for the Pandora MTL RTA 2, we have 30 plus airflow options. So on the front here, you have your dial and just 6 options on the front, and then you also have your airflow on the bottom, which I'll show you when we open her up. On the side here, we have the Yachtvape official Instagram page. You can scan to follow. On the side here, we have gunmetal. So the one we have here is the gunmetal version. It comes in 3 different colors. I'll throw the colors up on the screen now. It comes in gunmetal, stainless steel, and black. You have also their official Yachtvape Facebook page and your scratch and check authenticity. On the back here, we have the contents of the box. So you have your MTL RTA, a chamber plate, which I'll explain when I open her up, a pre-built fused Clapton coil, and a MTL coil, which we won't be using. We'll be using our own. The user manual, extra 510 drip tip, which is a wider bore than the one it comes with, a spare glass, and an accessory bag, and then the usual bits and bobs on the back. Nothing else here really. Yachtvape's logo on the top, and that is it. So we'll open her up. So we have the tank here, so we'll put that to the side. We have your accessory box here. And in your accessory box, so you have your coils, which again we won't be using. You have a baggie with Allen key, some O-rings, a gasket, spare drip tip, and some post screws. And you have your Barbie screwdriver. We'll put that to the side. We'll use that. So we go through the tank first, and we'll zoom it in. So at the top here, you have your 510 drip tip, and it is your usual 510 with the O-rings on the outside. Any blemishes or any liquid you see is from my use. I've been using this for the last week or so, so it was in good condition, or perfect condition when I got it. So 510 drip tip. On the opening mechanism on the top is a quarter turn, which is very good. And you have 3 very large kidney shaped holes to fill your tank. And you have a gasket on the top here. So quarter turn, which is always good. On the bottom here, you have Pandora MTL RTA V2. Your 510 is protruding, so this is safe to use on a hybrid mechanical device. You have your serial number 595, and it's manufactured by Yachtvape. And you have your screw for your positive post, CE mark, and your don't vape in a bin. I suppose the most interesting feature on this RTA is the airflow system. So on the front here, you have a dial, and it's protruding by a couple of mils, so it's fairly easy to grab with your nail and turn. So at the minute, we have it in the 1 mil mode, but if you want to just say you want to move it to the 1.5 mode, Very easy to grab. There's good knurling on it, and it is easy to move. So I'm going to set this at 0.8 because that's what I've been predominantly using it. I've been using it in the tightest setting. So at the minute it is 1.6, but we'll move it around to 0.8. There we go. So that's it set at 0.8. So there's 6 options. So 0.8, 1 mil, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, and 2 mil. This tank is definitely a mouth to lung tank. So if you're looking for a restricted direct lung or a direct lung, maybe go for something else. But it is its design is based around a mouth to lung setup and a mouth to lung vape. So if you're looking for something else, maybe look at something else. But if you're looking for a mouth to lung vape, it might be of interest to yourself. So there's the options for the disc, for the airflow disc. And the other airflow option is on the bottom here. So just your regular airflow at the bottom, which you'd see in a lot of tanks. So you've got 5 different holes here, and you can dial it right down to 1 hole. So between the airflow dial and your regular airflow slots on the bottom, you have 30 plus options to play around with. For me, as explained when I bring it back on top, up top, the disc is the main airflow option for me. The bottom option sort of dials it in and fine tunes it, but your main option is the airflow disc. But I'll explain that more when we bring it back up top. So the capacity of this is 2 mil. We'll open up the Bellcap accessory box in a few minutes, but that will bring a capacity up to 3 mil. But again, this is a mouth to lung tank, so the capacity isn't a massive issue. 2 mil isn't great capacity, but for a mouth to lung vape, 2 mil will last most people most of the day. So we'll open her up and we'll see the deck. So your deck is a fairly basic mouth to lung deck. It is a 2-post design and Phillips head screws. Personally, I prefer flatheads. I know most people don't like flatheads, but I prefer flatheads. You have plenty of room here to get decent-ish size coils in. It's a mouth to lung tank, so you're not going to be putting fat 5-core aliens in here, or like frame staples or Fralians, but plenty of room there for a decent sized mouth to lung coil. So you're going to be putting your coil sitting this way, and your wicking channel is here, and your cotton is going to sit here and here. Pretty nothing too crazy here, nothing too innovative, just your usual mouth to lung deck here. So the way this works for your airflow cog, we'll call it, on the side. So you grab this, and if you look in the center, this turns the barrel, and as you turn the barrel, it changes the size of the airflow. So the most dramatic size change, I suppose, is this one. This is your 2 mil, and that is your 0.8. So we're going to leave it at 0.8, but very, very easy to change, even just with your fingertips. I'm just grabbing it with my nails, and there's no issues. The version 1 Pandora, you had to open up the tank to change the airflow, whereas on this version 2, you could do it from the outside, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely an improvement on the original RTA. So that is the way the airflow works. On the box it described a chamber plate. So we can see here chamber plate. So I'm just going to show you what the chamber plate is. So when you originally buy the RTA, it comes with a chamber plate in one of the accessory bags. And the idea is, if you get your tweezers in here and you give it a bit of a twist, this chamber plate will pop out. There we go. This is your chamber plate. Basically, it's a reducer for the chamber, so it'll give you a more condensed vape. So if you're running this with If you're in this in mount-along mode, which I think most people will, I would recommend having the plate inserted. So you just grab your tweezers and twist, and it should catch the threads. There we go. That is it in place. So basically it makes the chamber more condensed, and it should give you a better flavor. If you're using bigger coils, which you probably won't be doing with this RTA, you could take the plate out to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room. But my recommendation would be to put a decent mount-along coil in this and to insert the chamber plate. That is basically that. 2mm capacity. The machine, although there's a bit of liquid in there from me using it, the machine is pretty decent. The threadings are pretty good. No issues there at all. So next up, we're going to look at the Bellcap. So I'll zoom this out. So this is the accessory that you can buy separately for the Pandora. It's the Bellcap accessory box. So this comes with 3 different colors. So it comes with a clear, an Ultim, and a smoked out Bellcap. So this will up the capacity from 2mm to 3mm, and I'll show you how you change the. Basically, it's a swap out for your normal section here, and it gives you the extra mil at the top here. Now, the con for this is you haven't got your top fill. You're going to have to fill it from the bottom. So you're going to have to take it off and fill down the side of the chamber here. The pro for me is the fact that it just looks much better in my opinion, and I'm a big fan of clean looking tanks, as you've probably seen if you've seen any of my videos. So I'm a bit of a fan of this. I'm not too worried about bottom fill. I've used the KF one for years, and bottom fill is no issue for me. So the way this works is, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change the smoked out glass to the clear glass just to show you how this works. So if you take off your drip tip, and you can see similar to the chamber disc it comes with, there is 2 holes. So if you stick your tweezers in there, we can grab them. Stick your tweezers in there and give it a twist. This will separate. Whoop. There we go. And then this piece will just pop out. And it's left with this little disc on the bottom. We just need to get this out. I'll get my tweezers again. And she pops out. So there is the smoked out plastic. We can swap that out for the clear. So you get your little insert and you pop that in there. And I have it in Auschwitz. There we go. Make sure that's pushed right into the bottom. Otherwise the threading is not going to sit properly. There we go. You get your chamber again and hold it in place. Like this, as you can see, you're threading there. And you get your little top cap, threaded top cap, and screw her on. And then we'll give it a little tighten with the tweezers. And stick your drip tip back in. And that is your smoked Bellcap changed to your clear Bellcap. So if you stick your finger in and just give it a good tighten, make sure everything's tightened up. Actually went another couple of mil there. There we go. That is it all tightened up. And that will screw straight back onto your deck. Now for me, that looks a lot cleaner than with the original piece. For me, it just looks better. For other people, the extra mill won't be a big issue, and they'll rather have top fill. But for me, I'd rather the extra capacity, but mainly for the looks. I think it just looks a lot better. So that's the way we're gonna have it set up. So, in my opinion, you'd want to be putting a fairly small coil in this. The deck isn't big, isn't large. So, just a regular mouth-along coil, so like a Clapton or a fused Clapton. So today we're going to pop in a mouth-along Clapton, which is the smallest coil we sell at propercoils.com. So it's the mouth-along Claptons. It's one core of 28 gauge Canthal wrapped in 38 gauge Canthal, 2.5 mil inner diameter, and depending on your leg length, they'll come out at 0.95 or 1 ohm per coil. So here's what they look like. So let's get a coil in this. So that's the Pandora mouth-along RTA version 2 from Yachtvape, all coiled up, wicked up, and juiced up. Let's bring it back up top, and I'll give you my pros and cons. So we're back up top with the Pandora mouth-along RTA version 2 from Yachtvape, and it has the Bellcap, the clear Bellcap sitting on it. The mouth-along Clapton settled in at 0.98, and we're sitting at 15 watts. Let's give it a vape. So that is with the airflow sitting on the 0.8 mil setting, which is the tightest setting it comes with. As I said on the down low, I just want to have a quick chat about the airflow, the dual airflow options. So the bottom airflow ring, you can see there, is sitting in the wide open position. So the 5 holes at the bottom are wide open. And then I have it on the tightest setting on the airflow cog. And if I tighten that right down, tighten the bottom airflow ring right down to 1 hole and give it a vape again. For me, it doesn't really change the airflow. So as I said on the down low, the cog adjustment, the cog wheel on the side is basically the main airflow adjustment for me. So whatever you set the cog to is the vape style or the vape airflow you get. For me, the bottom ring doesn't really do too much. I know they say 30 plus airflow settings, but for me, it's really predominantly the airflow cog that dominates the whole airflow of the RTA. And look, it's not a problem for me. You can still fine tune it with the cog, but I think the airflow ring at the bottom, if that wasn't there, it wouldn't be a massive deal for me. And before I get into some of the pros and cons, I'll go through some of the specs. So for anyone that's using this with a side-by-side, the height of this is 36 mil, and that's not including the drip tip. And it's a 22 mil diameter RTA. Cons and pros. So cons-wise, other than that, I found it very hard to find any cons with this. I like the looks. I'm just going to end up starting to go through the pros, to be honest with you, because I don't really have any cons. The only thing I could think of, and I always try and think of some sort of con, is the fact that you don't get a Bellcap in the main packaging, but the Bellcap accessory box is not expensive. It's like £7 or €10. So if you're buying for me, who likes like an aesthetically pleasing RTA, I would definitely recommend going for the Bellcap accessory box, just for the look, purely for the looks, not for the extra capacity. The extra 1 mil is obviously nice. The fact that it's bottom airflow or bottom fill is not an issue at all. It's like less than a turn to take it off. You fill it, you turn it back on. It's not actually much extra effort than taking your top cap off. So for me, it's not a con that it's a bottom fill for the Bellcap. I'll just go into the pros then, because I don't really have any cons other than what I spoke about there, if you count them as cons. So looks wise, I think with the Bellcap, it looks pretty slick, pretty cool looking. It's one of the better looking mouth-to-lung RTAs I've ever had. Very clean looking. Even with the cog, I don't think the cog looks too bad. I just love RTAs that look that clean. No branding. Very nice looking. The build quality, everything goes together well. The treadings are good. No issues with the build quality whatsoever. No marks, scratches. Everything's good. The airflow choices, although I'm going to give it a pro, and I did say that the bottom airflow ring doesn't do a whole pile, you still get a lot of options, even just with the cog section. So you can dial it right down to a 0.8, which is about as tight as anybody wants. And for me, that's as tight as I'd like it, and I like a tight mouth-to-lung vape. Just the fact that you can buy Bellcaps with the different colors, extra capacity, better looks is definitely a pro. And overall, I just think it vapes very, very well as a mouth-to-lung tank. For a good while now, I've been using the Aries 2. That's between that and the K-Fun. They have been my two go-to mouth-to-lung tanks, and I'm someone that uses a mouth-to-lung tank every day. If I'm at work, I can't really be blowing clouds at work, so I use a mouth-to-lung tank at work. If I'm at home and I'm around the kids, I'll use a mouth-to-lung tank, not to be blowing clouds around the kids. So from someone that uses a mouth-to-lung tank every day, I will definitely this is definitely going to be my go-to now. I'm probably going to drop the Aries 2 because I've been using it for a long time, and I'm going to be switching between this and the K-Fun, because the K-Fun's been my go-to for a long, long time. But I just love the looks of it. It vapes, in my opinion, as good as a K-Fun. The flavor's very good. The airflow options are good, and I think the looks for me is the main thing. I just think it looks class with the Bellcap. Similar to the K-Fun as well. The K-Fun's like clean looking, and it's got that polished stainless steel, which I love. I love a clean looking RTA, especially in mouth-to-lung. So that's basically the review for the Pandora mouth-to-lung RTA version 2 from Yachtvape. If you are liking the reviews or like this review, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. If you're looking for any handmade coils, make sure you head over to propercoils.com. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you again next time.